Day 4.
I'm at the airport. Do I look okay? I mean, my hair's just not cooperating. Look here, this piece. Anyways, I'm at the airport. I'm nervous. I need more hair. Flannel, jeans, pumps. Yeah, outfit of today. Anyways, here we go. Going to international arrivals. Which way do I go? I'm taking a guess. I think it's this way. Anyways, let's go.
What started out as a crazy morning again, and a crazy middle of the day too, turned into a good day. What happened this morning? I was on the phone with my fiance, as we do. So that's the third time of the routine that we have in a day of calls. We have one, for me, it's in the morning when I'm on my way to work, at my lunch period, around noon, 12:30, 1-ish, and then before I go to bed at night. Usually, well, not so much when before I go to bed, but usually between 9:30 and 10:30 at night for me. For her, those times are in the morning on her way to work, in the late afternoon, early evening when she is on her way home from work or on her way to pick up the kids, and then before she goes to sleep at night. So I'm on my phone call with her in the morning. Morning for me on my way to work, afternoon for her when she's on her way home. Today she was on her way home, didn't pick up the kids because of other scheduled things, and I'm talking to her, and she sends me, well, before I even start talking to her, she sends me a voice note that says, "Hey babe, can we do a voice call today? My battery on my phone is at 9%, and I'm worried that it's going to die if we do a video call, etc., etc. We won't be able to talk. No big deal." I was like, yeah, absolutely, no problem. So we do a voice call. I start talking to her. We start talking little bit, and all of a sudden she starts like kind of cursing, and I'm like, what happened? And she's like, oh, this truck cut me off on the road, and I was like, oh yeah, that sucks. And then she gets a little quiet, and I kind of like, I'm like, what's going on? She's like, my car's not moving, and I'm like, what? Fast forward through this a little bit just to give you the basics. She was flooring, like hitting the gas pedal. I call it the gas pedal, she calls it a petrol pedal, I think. Babe, is that right? To the floor, and the car wasn't moving. Then the car starts freaking smoking. And I about lose my shit. I think I even said something horrible. I don't remember what I said. Something to the effect of like, you gotta be effing kidding me right now, babe. My fiance is on the side of the road with a broken down car smoking in front of her, literally under the hood. We call it a hood. And she has a phone with tiny percent of battery that we have just used some to talk. Realizing that her battery was obviously going to go flat, she had me get off the phone and call her dad and tell her dad what was going on. I told him he actually was able to call her for a brief moment before her phone died and work out a situation. They got like a tow truck, so she was on the side of the road. People were coming to fetch her. So I was like, call me when you're done with your dad. In my mind, I was thinking I'll just stay on the phone with her until somebody shows up. I'm on the phone with her for maybe 40 seconds before her phone dies. This was at 7:30 in the morning for me. At about 10 a.m. Or maybe even a little bit earlier, it might have been like 9:30, 10, something like that. I hadn't heard from her her phone was showing that the battery had not yet been charged. And I texted her dad just to say, again, hey, did she get home okay? He assured me she did. And that it was okay after that. I finally heard from her at about, her directly at about, I guess like noon, maybe, my time. And she said, I'm so sorry, you know, like, not I'm sorry, but she's like, you know, I'm sorry, you know, there was a thing with the kids tonight, there was like a concert, and I hadn't gotten home, and when I got home, like, as soon as I was home, we grabbed the kids and left, and again, understandable life events, but this thing here, I was like, no worries, and so she's like, we can still talk, just give me, you know, talk at 9:30, I'm like, okay, so that was 20 minutes for me. This is where I'm going to publicly appreciate my fiance, because the conversation that we had when she was on the phone with me at 9:30 at night, her time, started at 9:30, well, even it started later, it was like 9:45, almost 10 at that point, and I mean, it was a serious conversation. It was something that I had been trying to find a way to say to her and just didn't know how, and kind of like what I said in my video yesterday, just like how it feels that, you know, I don't have the things that she does in essence to kind of keep her distracted, and I just wanted to talk to her about that, I guess. I actually, to be perfectly honest, I didn't want to talk to her about it, I felt, because I still was trying to figure out the words, and the words never really came, but she has this way of convincing me to talk to her about things even when I don't want to, in a good way, like, you know, kind of encouraging, like, you know, talk to me even if it's not what you think you want me to hear or something like that. And so she got me to talk to her, and I told her, and I'm like, I'm a crier, don't get me wrong, big crier, big, huge crier, but I don't very often cry uncontrollably, like, to the point where I can't, like, get words out still, or control my facial expressions and stuff like that. And the only times I have done those things has been when I've been really upset, or really upset at myself for something that's going on, or when she and I part. And I know now that you have all seen the video from yesterday where I showed you a clip of a video that I was sending to her, actually, when I broke down after she left. So those are the times where I could cry uncontrollably like that, and today, during that conversation, I also did. And I'm appreciating her because she listened and took it into real consideration, and is promising me things that I am very grateful to her for promising me and changing for me, because a huge part of me feels very guilty for feeling the ways that I feel when I know that she's got so much going on, like with the kids and with life and stuff. And her showing me that I'm a priority is something I actually have a hard time accepting, almost, in a way, but the fact that she does that is just one of the multitude of reasons that I am so in love with her, you know? And so she then did something silly, and she kept, after we got off the phone, it was actually a longer conversation, I took a longer lunch today, don't tell my boss, and she actually like, she kept texting me, because we usually text afterwards until she falls asleep, which is usually like within, I would say, like 15 to 30 minutes. And she kept texting me, and I'm like, it's late. I know you're exhausted. You've told me many times. And you just got off a plane just 2 days ago. So, or not even. Was it 2 days? No, it was a day. 2 days? Anyway, whatever. She goes to tell me, I was like, go to sleep. And she responds with, no. And I'm like, usually she's like joking about it or something, but she's like, no. And I'm like, well, I mean, physically I was kind of like, what? I didn't actually write this out. She told me, she's like, after what we just talked about, I have this, I'm paraphrasing, this desire, if you will, to stay up all night and just talk to you so that you don't feel alone. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why my fiance is the most amazing person in this world. To me, at least. But I think if you got to know her, you'd understand. Obviously, I was like, I'm not having that. I know you're exhausted. I will only take so much responsibility for things that you change. I'm not going to let you stay up all night when I know you're exhausted. So, we had our conversation. I got her to go to sleep, thankfully. I mean, I didn't get her to, but like she did, and we agreed. I mean, anyway. Fast forward to tonight, where I just got off the phone with her a little while ago. About 20 minutes ago now. And I was happy. I'm smiling. I'm laughing. I'm talking to her like I remember feeling when I was with her. It's still there. It is. It's still there. It's still... It never goes away. I'm sure all of you know that. But... she had me laughing harder than I've laughed in quite a few days, probably since she was here, and all over a surprise that you're gonna see today, actually. So if you're watching this now and you haven't found out what it is yet, look for it soon. And just having her do that for me and and just making it better, like only she can, always makes this feel worthwhile. Always. You know, there are going to be good days and there are going to be bad days, obviously. In the 4 days that I've just been doing this, you've seen multiple different aspects and ranges of this whole thing. But it'll always be okay. Eventually. It's gonna hurt. It does. And I feel it. I know it. I know you know it. But it'll always end up being okay. And in the end, we always know that they're worth it. Because, babe, you're worth everything. So on a happier day 4, with, what is that, 63 days left to go? Is that right? I feel like my math is off. 64 days. I don't know how that works. Yeah, 64 days left to go. I sign off and hope that you all find your peace and find your hardships easy, not easy maybe, but tolerable to deal with. And that you'll always be kind to one another. I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, and the next day, and every day until this is a completed series. Until then.